Yes.
Okay.
Well, we are going to finish this meal with one of my very favorites. Well, I should say two of my very favorite desserts. One being the decadent macaron. And then we will top it off with our affogato. Yes.
Avocado, gelato, macarons, and more at Cafe Channing Noel. This is Fabulous Living Bahamian Style. Thank you so much for having me here at Monte Carlo, Loretta. We're about to dig into this fanciful feast. However, if you are not following us or subscribed on YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, FabLife242, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook for all of the fabulous behind-the-scenes footage that does not make it into the episode. We guarantee you it's a good time. So, Loretta, let's dig in.
Thank you.
Bon appetit. Okay, you ready? Let's go.
Lovely.
Okay. What a great way to end my second wonderful adventure in Exuma. It really is a beautiful island. I really surprised myself at how much I enjoyed bone fishing, even though I had to get up before the fish. It was quite a thrill to actually catch and release some of these wily fish. I'm glad I didn't miss seeing the littlest church in Exuma. It was quite a discovery. I can't imagine how they made it before there was a bridge from Little Exuma to the mainland. Of course, the Tropic of Cancer Beach needs to be added to my best beaches in the Bahamas list. It just goes on forever and it's so gorgeous. I really did not want to leave. The historic side of Exuma also surprised me. The Loyalist tombs in Royal Town and Hermitage reminded me about what a long history this island has to offer. It was nice to be able to remember those who came before. Of course, the Pompeii statue is another great reminder of what our ancestors had to endure and what heroes they had to be to survive. And the old jailhouse also showed me what they had to go through. Would any of my fab ventures be complete without looking for my perfect home? And I certainly saw one in February Point. It was the family island paradise I dream about whenever I'm caught in the hustle and bustle of Nassau. And to return home and visit my friend Loretta and her personal chef Emily, who prepared yet another amazing meal, ended my Exuma adventure in the best possible way. Now I'm going to enjoy a dessert I can only get when I visit Loretta, and we'll discuss my plans for my next island escapade.
Forget all the things that you've been going through. Joy and excitement are waiting here for you. Come sit with me in the lap of luxury. Sail in a yacht across the aqua sea. Let's chill in my villa, sip on some champagne. All friendly people calling you by name. Exquisite mansions, hotels and homes. A new adventure wherever we roam. Succulent seafood, delicious dining. Personal chefs make things to your liking. So many islands, gems and keys. Beauty to explore, taste and see. Living the fabulous life ahead. Let's live this life forever. Share each moment, our treasure. Let's live this life forever. Share each moment, our treasure. Fabulous living Bahamian style. Let's live the life of movies and magazines. Get a taste of the islands, enjoy everything. Embark on a journey.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, residents encouraged to take advantage of the VAT-free holiday. Also, thousands of new voters added to the register. And a man halts before the court on charges of rape and burglary. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. News. I'm Shashina Wolf-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, Grand Bahama residents should get a 3-week tax break on hurricane supplies. The VAT-free holiday is set to begin this coming Friday, July 9th, and it will run through July 31st. Residents are being encouraged to take advantage of the tax concessions on a wide range of items that are crucial to hurricane preparedness. Ramiko Knowles has our top story.
If you have not begun shopping for the ongoing hurricane season, now would be the time. The Minister of State for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, says that the VAT holiday was put in place to assist Bahamians while shopping for hurricane supplies and equipment.
We are encouraging persons, obviously, during this hurricane season and looking at the what's happening now, and that we see storms are traveling now. And we want to encourage persons to take advantage of this VAT holiday on those items that can be purchased here locally, VAT-free.
The items included in the 3-week tax break are flashlights, drop cords, uninterrupted power supply systems, battery-operated fans, batteries, tarps, pre-filled sandbags, water containers and cans, gas and diesel, storage containers, first aid kits, plastic sheeting, oil lamps, candles, and portable radios. Additionally, oil lanterns and the bottles used for them, as well as duct and masking tape, empty 5-gallon buckets, raincoats and water bots, life jackets, hurricane lanterns, sternos, butane portable stoves, manual can openers, plywood, coolers, insect repellent, storm shutters, and residential generators will not carry VAT charges during the holiday period.
Once again, we are encouraging persons to, one, be mindful of the season that we are in, but also be reminded that as a result of the government wanting to assist persons in their preparations for the hurricane season, we want you to take advantage between the 9th of July and the 31st of July, the VAT holiday on hurricane supplies.
Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Well, the cost of building and repairing homes has spiked in recent months as lumber prices in the U.S. have skyrocketed, pushing up housing costs. Prices surged as a result of the pandemic as mills were forced to close or slow production. Well, our news team visited a number of hardware stores on the island to find out how they're coping with the increase. Here's Jamila Mizik with this report.
According to U.S. reports, lumber and plywood prices have jumped through the roof, and prices are expected to retreat in 2022, returning to pre-pandemic levels by 2023. While here on the island, local hardware stores are feeling the pinch, as they say it remains a challenge.
We fortunately have many vendors that we can get supplies from, so we've just been communicating very closely with each and every one of them. And whoever provides the best price, we go ahead and try to secure that pricing from them. And based on availability, sometimes we're not able to get as much as we would like, but we keep it trying to flow in as steadily and as constantly as possible.
We here at Third Dimension, we try to assist our customers best as possible, and when we work out our prices, we make sure our prices are in range and in capable of customers and stuff like that. But what I could suggest that we are in the season, in the hurricane season, that you prepare yourself for it. Try to plan as best as possible.
At this time, we are trying to cope. We actually are shopping around over the U.S. In the U.S., so we're shopping around to get the best price for once we import, that it could actually land at the best price possible.
They say at this time, their prices are reflecting the cost from their vendors.
Our prices only increase based on our costs, so anytime you see a change in our price, it's simply a reflection of our first cost. So we ourselves don't change our internal pricing, but it's the pricing from our suppliers that force us to go ahead and make those adjustments.
Prices will increase slightly, but like I said, once we shop around, we get the best price possible. We're working with our vendors. We have more than one vendor that we can work with, so we're working with our vendors to make sure that the price that we're getting could actually subsidized within the community.
We try to keep it on a maintained level because, we all know that we have some challenges and stuff with that, and we need the business and we need the customer to be comfortable and to get their supplies and stuff. So we try to keep it on a level competitive.
But they say despite the price hike, now that it is the hurricane season, the demand for these supplies remains high.
We've seen a steady kind of, interest from the general public because construction is still going on. So, supplies are still needed. They themselves are probably sourcing out as best as possible, as we are ourselves, to try and get the best price locally. But we remain as competitive as possible, and we try to pass on the best price to our customers, so we're going to continue to do that.
The community right now, what they would normally do, they'll shop around. So whoever's having the best price, that's who they will shop with. There are some persons that once they hear the price, they will go somewhere else. Once they hear it from somebody else, they will normally come to us. What we're trying to do right now is make sure that all of our lumber, especially the 5/8 CDX, we get those at the best possible prices, because we are, like I said, we are in the hurricane season, and we want to make sure that if we do have a storm that's out there, that persons can get those particular plywood and batten up wherever necessary.
We have like different grades of plywood. You have like the roofing plywood, which is the 5/8 CDX that you can use to bat up, or even if you don't want to do that, you can prepare yourself for the hurricane, get the hurricane shutters, etc.
Jamila Missick, ZNS Network News.
In other news, the voter registration drive continuing on the island. As Italia Hall tells us, scores of new voters have been added to the register for the 2022 general election.
There are several locations for persons to register for the 2022 general election in Grand Bahama in the Western District. One location is the Administrator's office in 8 Mile Rock. Administrator Gilbert Kemp says the numbers are climbing, as not just new voters have been coming forward, but those seeking to be transferred as well.
Of course, because a number of persons would have gone through Doreen, we're seeing voters' cards in pieces. So they're coming now to be issued new voters' cards. And every now and then I'm noticing about 5 or 6 young people who would have turned 18 who are now coming out to vote. I mean, some days it's like crazy here, where we have so many persons coming in either to register for the first time or to register because they've moved in the area.
Assistant Administrator for West Grand Bahama, Armentha Newman, says registration will continue at the Administrator's office.
In 8 Mile Rock, West Grand Bahama District, we're open from 9 to 5. Persons can come in for transfers, as Senior Administrator Kemp has said. They can come in for replacements, and persons who turn 18, they can bring their document, proof of citizenship, and they can come and register. Also, between the hours of 5 p.m. and 8, we also continue at St. Stephen's Anglican Church. So persons, if they come to the Administrator's office and we're closed, they can go over to St. Stephen's and they can also register.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
In news from Bimini now, that crew scheduled to take Biminites to Florida for the Johnson & Johnson one-jab COVID vaccine today has been postponed. ZNS News has learned that the trip has been rescheduled for Friday, and that will give organizers more time to work out logistics. The planned one-day trip is a coordinated effort between stakeholders who are encouraging residents to get vaccinated, particularly since there has been a recent spike in cases in Bimini, leading to tighter restrictions and a curfew from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. Abaco police are now saying that the aircraft that went down in bushes off of Treasure Key Airport in Abaco on Monday was reportedly stolen. Officers at the Marsh Harbor Police Station receiving a report on Tuesday that a 1984 white and brown trim Israel 8-seater plane was stolen from Treasure Key Airport in Abaco. Police say following investigations into the crash, it was discovered that the plane that was reported stolen was the same aircraft that crashed, killing the 2 Bahamian pilots on board. The plane in question reportedly arrived in Treasure Key on Friday, July 2nd, and was scheduled to depart on July 5th. On Monday, July 5th. The plane is said to be valued at $300,000, and investigations are continuing. In news from the courts, a West Grand Bahama man arraigned today on multiple charges, according to reports on Tuesday, July 6th. 19-year-old Akeem Alicia Stewart of Holmes Rock, Grand Bahama was arraigned before Magistrate Simone Brown on 3 counts of rape, 1 count of burglary, and 1 count of causing harm. Stewart was not required to enter a plea on the rape charge and pleaded not guilty to burglary and causing harm. He was granted bail for causing harm in the amount of $2,000 with 1 or 2 shorters. He was also granted bail for burglary in the amount of $6,000 with 1 or 2 shorters. Now, he was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections for rape until September 16, 2021. Stewart is to have no contact with the virtual complainant or witnesses and to report to the 8 Mile Rock Police Station on Mondays and Friday before 6 p.m. Now, he was represented by attorney Osmond Johnson. Switching gears now, patrons at a local fast food chain say it is becoming a serious problem. Vagrants waiting on the line, begging for money, and some even becoming more aggressive. Well, tonight, one woman is asking the owners of the business establishment to do their part to protect patrons before the situation escalates. Imagine going on a routine trip to KFC and then being surrounded by vagrants who have blocked your vehicle as they seek to ask for some change. Well, that was the recent experience of wife and mother Letitia Campbell Parker, who says she was in the line of the local fast food chain when she heard someone pulling at her passenger door.
So thank God my door was locked and the person pulled. I looked up and there was this lady, I guess we use the term Joneser, she's a vagrant, and she was pulling at my door. I looked at her and I'm like trying to wave her away because I was in shock, but at the same time I heard someone knocking on my window, my driver's side window, and there was another vagrant.
She says she was overwhelmed as she realized she was about to be tag-teamed by 2 vagrants.
This is all happening one time, and I'm trying to get them away. The baby's in the back seat screaming, and I don't know if he was happy or if he was afraid, but it was a lot going on. And as I tried to get them away, what happens these days is that the Jonesers, the vagrants, tend to be more aggressive. So me telling them get away from the car is not working. She's pulling on the car door, he's knocking on the window. And when they finally got away, they gathered at the backside of my car and had a conversation.
And she says she could not go forward as cars were in the front and she couldn't reverse. But this experience is not an isolated one, as recently persons have taken to social media to share how vagrants have approached their vehicles while in line. One person wrote, "One day I was at Burger King downtown. I had a Joneser to the left and to the right and no AC. It was a hot couple minutes as they followed every time my car moved." Another said she had to ask the cashier to send the security outside many times, while one other person added that he watched a vagrant hit a security guard with a stick because he was trying to stop his hustle. Campbell Parker says this is not just happening at fast food restaurants, but believes owners should take this issue seriously before their patrons get hurt.
I think with fast food restaurants, with beauty supply stores, with the banks, there's a proliferation of Jonesers. And there needs to be something done in terms of the security guards for the establishment, because what happens is I can go to an establishment that has the best prices, the best variety of products, but if I'm about to be harassed, I'm not gonna patronize your establishment. And the government needs to recognize this, because what happens is there is a mental health crisis in our country. Nothing is being done about it.
Now, our ZNS News team did observe a security officer coming outside to monitor the drive-through line today. However, we reached out to the manager, Joseph Heald, at the downtown local KFC, who says that it has been a vexing issue for a while and notes that there has been an increase in vagrants around the store. Now, despite security guards asking them to leave, he says that the vagrants continue to come back. He says that they have also tried having 2 security guards on the weekends, but admits that the situation remains difficult difficult to manage. He says police have been called in to move them, but they come right back. And he also says that they have also encouraged the vagrants to go to the feeding center where they distribute food. However, the store manager says that they often prefer money. Now, we would have also spoken with the manager at Burger King, who also says that there has been an increase in vagrants around that store, and at times police have been called in, adding that they have witnessed patrons and staff being attacked. She adds that they are looking into new security measures for the benefit of their patrons to avoid any future challenges. Well, a leader in the local Haitian community calling for prayers tonight for that Caribbean nation. This coming after the assassination of Haiti's president. Jamila Mizik reports.
The Haitian community grieving today as they mourn the loss of President Jovenel Moïse. Moïse was reportedly assassinated in his private home around 1 a.m. Wednesday morning. Leader of House of Grace for All Nations, Pastor Abner Mius, extending condolences to the Haitian community on the tragic loss of their president. Pastor Mius says he believes that this is a sign.
We are the first black nations in 1804 who give a sign for freedom and let the world know, but it's something now we've been fighting with for long because we're fighting our own battle. We beat our master. So that means you know that when you shed blood, so you have to know that in return, blood have to share it to your generations. So that's why God told the children of Israel in Exodus chapter 14, verse 14, he said, keep silent, I will fight for you. Because when you fight your own battle, so your generations have to pay for that.
President Moïse has been Haiti's leader since 2017, but had faced widespread protests demanding his resignation. Pastor Miu says now is the time for Haitians to show forgiveness.
He's a young president. He just fight. He's a hero. He did not want to leave the country. He want to stay until 2022 so he could step down. That's what he said. But they don't want that. Our own brothers just deliver him for that. So that's mean I want to send a message for the world, entire world. We need to share forgiveness to one another. So if that not take place, this chaos will be continued all over the world. So we have to make an end. Just use the word of forgiveness. The lack of love make it happen right now. He just lost his life.
He's encouraging everyone to pray for Haiti and Haitians around the world.
So Asian people, we have a message to share. We had a message to share. And I think that's the reason why Jesus Christ is not take place yet. Because Haitian people need to recognize that we are brothers keepers. The Bible said in Psalm 127, verse 1, he said, if God do not watch the city, those who are watchers, they are watched in vain. So look at that, all the security, high security the president had, he still lost his life because God wasn't watching the city. So my message for the entire Haitian people, let God watch the city and you will see how victorious we will be in life.
In the meantime, interim Prime Minister Claude Joseph has called for calm and declared a state of emergency nationwide. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us, we'll be back right after this.
Come on down. Come on down. Now.
When you're operating at the highest standards, something remarkable happens.
You don't just meet your goals, you exceed them.
You don't just respond to needs, you anticipate them.
And you know that failure comes with consequences. You deserve the best we have to offer. And this is why we're working to ensure that we deliver on our commitments.
And we will take responsibility when we don't.
You have high expectations.
And we're committed to doing what it takes to exceed them.
Becoming a BTC postpaid customer is fast and easy. And what's more, by signing up, the deals are instant. Tell us about some of the deals available for postpaid customers.
Well, we always have amazing deals available for our postpaid customers. We have up to 75% off any device that we carry, and you can also get up to $300 off of a phone. If you're an existing customer, a new customer, you can get a free phone. And that's some of the amazing deals that we have at any of our major stores.
Let's talk again about switching over from prepaid to postpaid.
Okay, when you switch over from prepaid to postpaid with any carrier, you can keep your same number and you can come into a BTC store and your service will not be interrupted at all. Your friends and family won't even know that you made the switch.
And for new customers, what is the process like for them to become postpaid customers?
For a new customer, you just walk into the store, have a government-issued IDs, passport, driver's license, stuff like that. And once you do that, it'll be that simple. You could just visit one of our reps and they'll help you.
And tell us about some of the postpaid packages.
We have packages to suit any lifestyle and any budget. And whether you're homeschool, whether you have working from home, whatever it is, we have something here that will suit your budget.
So what are you waiting for? Visit any of our BTC locations and sign up and become a postpaid customer. It's fast, it's easy, and it's rewarding. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corbell Pyfrom. Be well, and be back here next BTC Connection.
Yes, sir. What you saying, bro?
Man, everything cool. Radio waking dead hot. What you doing for lunch?
You catch me here checking out the ZNS Shopping Network site? I looking at this out to sea deal.
Yeah? How do one go?
For $30, you get a $50 coupon. 20% off fish at the stand, plus you get $10 in minutes.
Man, you can't beat that.
Well, out to sea it is. Log on to www.znsshoppingnetwork.com. Select the island of your choice and shop anywhere, anytime.
Grand Lucine invites you to celebrate this independence at Portobello's for Sunday brunch. Enjoy delicious food and live entertainment with Wilfred Solomon and the Magnetics. Phone 373-1333 for more information.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Grand Bahama Independence Committee making final preparations for this year's celebrations. Festivities in commemoration of 48 years of nationhood kick off this Friday, June 9th with National Pride Day. At 9 a.m. Friday, a flag raising ceremony is slated for West Grand Bahama at the Administrator's Office in 8 Mile Rock. At 10 a.m., a flag raising ceremony will take place in Freeport at the Harold Gregory Complex, and a similar flag raising ceremony is scheduled for 10 a.m. Friday morning at the Freetown School grounds in East End. Then on Sunday, July 11th, an ecumenical service will be held at the Community at Heart Tabernacle on Coral Road. And as we continue our Independence series highlighting creatives, tonight we focus on an artist whose music has been a blessing to Bahamians everywhere. She was recently recognized by a local awards show as the Bahamas Female Gospel Artist of the Year. Ramiko Knowles has her story.
I am very proud to be a Bahamian.
Cara Thurston is a Bahamian gospel recording artist who is making waves in the gospel arena. At a tender age, it was evident that music was her calling.
I always tell this story of when I was a toddler, 2 or 3, And we were still in New York, and my grandmother, she always tells people of how every time a Whitney Houston song came on the radio, I would stop playing, I would stop doing whatever I was doing, and I would just stand there and listen until the song was done.
But she was also inspired by local artists as well.
Sweet Emily was always someone that I admired and looked up to. And I was about 14 years old when I met her for the first time. And she asked me what I wanted to do, and I told her, I want to do what you do. And she said, and you can do it. And that's all she had to tell me, as well as the late, great Therese Hepburn.
Thurston proudly embraces the Bahamian culture, and it can be heard in her rake and scrape gospel songs. She says if there is anything she would tell Bahamian artists today, it would be to be proud of where they are from and who they are.
Whether you're a cultural artist, a gospel artist, or was not, being authentically Bahamian is something that the world can't take from us. And so, you know, once you carry that name or that crown of being a Bahamian, just be proud and run with it. You might be a authentic Bahamian rake and scrape artist or Junkanoo artist, or maybe you do rap or hip hop or what's not, but at the end of the day, make sure that you are proud of being a Bahamian, because at the end of the day, that's the one thing that this world can't take from us.
Thurston was recognized by the Bahamas Gospel Music Awards as the Female Gospel Artist of the Year. She is a wife, a mother, a worshiper who loves God and her country.
I was moving back home from New York some years ago, going back to Nassau, and I hadn't been home for years. And I remember the plane was landing, and the bougainvilleas, that beautiful orange color, that was the first thing I noticed when I woke up. And the coral reefs, and I just started crying. It's simple things like that that remind me of, you know, people vacation where we live, and so we should take care of our country even as we take care of ourselves.
Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us, our Facebook friend of the night up next.
Blowout fan sale this Saturday, bonded area. Prices start at $25. Don't miss it. WhatsApp 441-6705.
Across the Bahamas, we're more connected than ever before as we upgrade and expand our network, elevating your connection with BTC Superfast Fiber Internet. More people can access the best high-speed internet on our upgraded all-fiber optic network, providing you with a better experience working remotely, learning virtually, accessing more from home, and connecting with more opportunities. Visit our website or any store to upgrade to our super-fast fiber internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Third Dimension on Yellow Pine Street introduces its new home improvement center. Step into our brand new fully stocked showroom for the latest in doors, tiles, housewares, kitchenwares, bathwares, vanities, power tools, electrical, and plumbing supplies. So stop by our showroom to view our full range of products or call the Home Advisor hotline at 602-0935 today. We are your home advisors.
It's an Independence Day sale at Park & Shop, 25% off store-wide and Dollar Plus, 15% off store-wide, July 7th through July 10th. Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Kevin Watson, you are our Facebook friend today, and we want to say thank you for your support. A special thank you to Ms. Sheila Carey Paris of Shea Expression, who provided this beautiful Independence corsage. And also, I'm looking for the Fishermen Association, because Barry Fine, I think he got the most poggy and grunts this past weekend. He deserves an award. And that is going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, Barry, this one is for you. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, sadness, shock, and condemnation in the wake of the Haitian president's assassination. A game changer for local entrepreneurs. CARICOM eyes a rebound from the pandemic. And 76 new COVID cases in 2 days. Those stories and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report returns.
Was Stafford Sands a racist? He had a special mind, a very cultivated mind. And I think that racism and prejudice of minorities would have been, it wasn't of interest to him. It wasn't necessary to his way of life.
There are many blacks that I've talked to who thought of him as a great leader, as somebody who
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapinder. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news, a deep-seated crisis ends in the early morning assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse, and the world reacts. In a statement this afternoon, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, expressed deep sadness and offered up condolences to the government and people of Haiti. In doing so, he strongly condemned the actions of the perpetrators. Now, according to authorities on the ground in Haiti, Moïse's attackers spoke both English and Spanish and were armed with heavy caliber weapons. Also injured in the attack, the president's wife, First Lady Martine Moïse. At last report, she was in critical condition and had been flown to Florida for further medical treatment. Haiti has since declared a 2-week state of emergency as it launches a manhunt for the killers. Moïse's killing comes just a day after Haiti's ongoing strife was discussed at CARICOM's 42nd meeting, with the regional body offering up assistance to finding a peaceful resolution to the political crisis there. Prime Minister Minnis says he's been in contact with CARICOM Chair, Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister, the Honorable Gaston Brown. Meantime, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is in contact with the Bahamian Embassy in Haiti, assuring that all its staff are safe. The embassy, though, is monitoring the situation closely. Prime Minister Minnis stressing that through the turmoil, the Bahamas is praying for the people of Haiti and for a peaceful resolution to its crisis. Meantime, we can tell you that the flag of the Haitian embassy here in New Providence has been lowered and security has been increased at its Shirley Street headquarters. Well, in the wake of that tragedy, President of the League of Haitian Pastors, Reverend Jean-Paul Charles, is also extending condolences to the president's family. Reverend Charles says he and his fellow pastors are too closely monitoring the situation in Haiti and praying for their fellow countrymen. We also have reaction tonight from Haitians living here. With that angle, we turn to our report from our Carlo Palma.
Haiti fini! Their voices cracking in sadness and despair, followed by teardrops, and their hands raised towards the heavens in what could be described as a search for some divine explanation to the killing of a man some Haitians living here in the Bahamas refer to as their president, Jovenel Moïse. José Jean-Baptiste and other Haitian residents of Lazaretto Road off Carmichael Road are distraught.
Président mouri. Oh bon Dieu! Oh bon Dieu! Comment on a pied? Comment la genou?
See, sad, like how the president died, because they got children in Haiti, they got family in Haiti, and he was really helping Haiti and doing stuff like that. But like the way she expressing it, she really sad. See, she got children over there, family and stuff like that. Like saying like that, the Haitians ain't supposed to be carrying on like that.
I feel bad because I'm not so. So now if I don't go Haiti, I can't go. I scared to go Haiti right now.
Et puis c'est bon Dieu dit ça, nous croyons c'est dans la fin nous y. Faut tout le monde believe dans bon Dieu qu'on y a pour nous prier sans cesse parce que la fin du monde proche. Jesus son coming. Son coming.
What she's saying is Haiti right now is in distress, like all them in distress and they can feel it. It ain't really no joke. She's saying like she feel like it's the end of the time and she want like everyone to help us pray, like even everyone in the Bahamas.
I don't know how to explain that. It's heartbroken. Heartbroken. Nous get mama, nous get papa, nous get petit Haïti. Comment on a fait? Et Simon yo, c'est président TL.
Meantime, investigations into the alleged assassination of President Moise continues. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Well, the Pan American Health Organization, or PAHO, joining the global community in expressing condolences to Haiti following its president's assassination. PAHO Director Dr. Carissa Etienne gave her support to the people of Haiti during a press conference this morning.
PAHO wishes to extend its condolences to his family. We also want to express solidarity with the Haitian people in these uncertain times, and to reiterate our commitment to advance the country's health and development. Our organization has a long history of working in Haiti, hand in hand with local authorities, health professionals, and communities through our country office in Port-au-Prince. We continue to stand with them now and will redouble our efforts.
Etienne adding that one of PAHO's top priorities is to support Haiti and get its COVID-19 vaccination started to help control transmission of the virus on that island nation.
We will continue working towards this goal with global and local partners. I am hopeful that the arrival of vaccines in the country can start to turn the tide of the pandemic and bring some relief to the Haitian people during these very difficult times.
A former deputy prime minister hospitalized for COVID-19 and a male electrocuted while at work today. The details of those stories coming up after the break. And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30 and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Elevate your experience with BTC Superfast Fiber Home Internet, which unlocks unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming for as low as $50 per line. Enjoy more savings and value with internet speeds of up to 600 megabits per second and all the connectivity you need on the go. An elevated experience starts with BTC at home, powering unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming plus great savings. Visit a BTC store or btcbahamas.com for more details.
You know that feeling you get when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you. At the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
A new opportunity awaits the micro, small, and medium enterprises. The government's heeded the recommendation of the Economic Recovery Committee, and Cabinet's approved new regulations for this group to participate in crowdfunding. a modern form of business financing whereby small businesses can raise capital. And this as opposed to bank loans or initial public offerings or IPOs.
Entrepreneurs can avoid the expensive and often onerous process involved with traditional fundraising and secure debt-free capital by selling a stake in their businesses, but yet while maintaining control of their companies. Through the advent of financial technology or fintech, crowdfunding has become even simpler. Online platforms can be developed to host businesses and investors alike and orchestrate crowdfunding with the click of a button.
As State Minister for Finance, the Honourable Kwesi Thompson explained, eligible entrepreneurs can raise up to $5 million, money that can be put towards the development of their startups or existing businesses, and the money to be raised from citizens and residents across the country.
Interested individuals will not be required to file the typical prospectus with the Commission, as would be needed for a public offering. Instead, they would file a streamlined crowdfund offering document, or COD, prior to conducting a crowdfund distribution. This is significantly less expensive and compared to the minimum $20,000 prospectus that would normally be done during a public offering. This is just one of the ways to break down the barriers for Bahamian entrepreneurs and small businesses to raise capital in the Bahamas. The new crowdfund rules provide an appropriate balance between access to capital for entrepreneurs and, of course, provisions to ensure protection for potential investors.
Well, as mentioned earlier, Caribbean heads this week met virtually to discuss key issues affecting the region, including the need to fortify communities against those factors that threaten their liability. As the world mourns the continued loss of life and counts the cost of lost livelihood due to COVID-19, the Caribbean community is being called on to design a recovery plan that not only resuscitates economies, but enhance the resilience of communities.
It is our duty to fortify our community against the factors that threaten its viability and the sustainable well-being of our people. That is the priority which not only has brought us here at this time, but which is the driving force of our integration movement. It is also the priority that has engaged me as Secretary General over the past decade, along with making the integration movement a lived experience for the citizens of CARICOM.
According to CARICOM Secretary General Erwin LaRocque, to help achieve this, CARICOM has embarked on a much-needed community reform. There is also involvement from stakeholders at the national and regional level, as well as the private sector, labor, civil society, and the youth.
I have been energized by the vitality and ideas of our youth, with whom I have interacted throughout my tenure. I have been struck by their immense pride in being part of the Caribbean community and the desire for integration to work for them. It is to provide them with the tools to fulfill their ambitions that the Human Resource Development Strategy 2030 was devised. That strategy and its accompanying action plan provides for a globally competitive, innovative, and seamlessly integrated education system to drive inclusive, sustainable development in our region. A major vehicle driving that development is the CARICOM single market and economy.
LaRocque acknowledges that more could have been accomplished with respect to the CSME, but stressed that because of the decision-making process, CARICOM can only move as fast as its slowest member state. Despite years of talk, the Bahamas has made it clear, though, that it does not support the free movement of people throughout its boundaries. Monday's virtual CARICOM meeting coming on the heels of Hurricane Elsa that affected 6 member states, including loss of life, a tragedy that followed flooding in Guyana and Suriname, and the La Soufriere volcano in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. LaRocque says in such times, the true spirit of the Caribbean community is demonstrated. Well, Director of the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Carissa Etienne, says the stark inequities in access to COVID-19 vaccines cannot be ignored as she continued to call on countries with wide access to share them with countries that continue to struggle. Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
In the last week, 1.1 million cases of COVID-19 were reported in the Americas, a figure PAHO Director Dr. Carissa Etienne says is a slight decline from the week prior. But the region continues to account for half of global COVID-19 deaths. While more than 600 million doses of the vaccines have been administered in the Americas, half of those have occurred in the U.S., while Etienne says some countries have not been able to vaccinate 3% of their populations.
The 24 million doses of COVAX deployed in the region so far have been quickly put to use. And countries are eager for the additional allocations to ship as soon as supplies are available. Our countries know how to deploy vaccines and are ready, but they need more doses, and they need them now.
Etienne applauded the U.S., Mexico, and Japan that are among those giving to the global vaccination effort that she says is helping expand the offerings of COVAX. But as the world continues to battle a vaccine shortage, she insists now is not the time to offer booster shots when many people have not received the first.
1, 2 shots and 1-shot regimens have proven effective long after they're administered, and sticking to them will allow us to protect more people. We should ensure that those at greater risk, like health professionals and the elderly, are protected everywhere before rolling out limited doses to healthy children.
The director's comments come as the CDC reports that the Delta variant now accounts for more than 50% of COVID-19 cases in the U.S., the Bahamas' closest neighbor. Etienne says the strain that has been primarily associated in cases with travelers has been detected in 15 countries in the PAHO region, with its impact still unknown.
The situation in the United States of America cannot necessarily predict how this variant is going to affect other countries. So for this and other reasons, it is important that control measures in public health should be focused on reducing the transmission, regardless of the variant that circulates. We must use all the available tools that have been shown to maintain their effectiveness, including the proper use of masks, social distancing, and of course, vaccination and other measures.
She says the approved COVID-19 vaccines work well and will assist in overcoming the pandemic, but broad and fair access has to be the first step to achieving that goal. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network.
Back here at home, we're inching closer to the 1,300 mark after the 5th and 6th of July pulled in 53 and 23 COVID-19 cases, respectively. Eleuthera among the islands with new infections. A closer look at cases shows that on Monday there were 49 new ones on New Providence, 2 on Grand Bahama, and 1 on Eleuthera, with the location of another pending. On that day, 3 of the newly confirmed had a history of travel within 14 days. Health officials also confirming that a 61-year-old man died on Monday, putting that toll to 252. Now, another 23 cases a day later, pushing the overall count to 12,965. As of Tuesday, 3 people were in the intensive care unit and 11,822 had recovered from the virus. Former Deputy Prime Minister and Deputy Leader of the Progressive Liberal Party, Cynthia Mother Pratt, among those being treated for COVID. Opposition Leader Philip Davis indicating in a statement that Mother Pratt, as she's affectionately known, was rushed to hospital on Tuesday. Davis says her doctors indicated that she's resting in stable condition for observation, and this as a precaution given the sensitivity required for COVID treatment. He called on Bahamians to respect Mother Pratt's privacy and to pray for her full recovery. A family mourning the loss of their loved one tonight following a fatal shock. Antoinette Smith has the details.
A hard pill to swallow for the family of marine mechanic Shervin Brennan.
It's not an easy road when you lose a child.
The child in this case, a man family members have identified as the victim of a Wednesday morning electrocution incident. Police say it was shortly after 10 when they were called to the scene at the Joseph Alfred Dock on Bay Street.
And on their arrival, they were directed to a small yacht where they went to the engine room of that yacht and found the unresponsive body of a male lying over an engine bay. The information is that while he was doing some repairs, he complained of being electrocuted.
Family members say Brennan left for work this morning like he always had, this time boarding the Triton, a small pleasure craft needing air-conditioned repairs that was docked next to the pirate ship. Longtime friend and boss Anthony E. Knowles says Shervin was always a vigilant worker, but when he arrived on the scene after receiving a troubling call, he could not believe what he was seeing.
He was still getting shocked. The body was still getting shocked. You couldn't touch him. No power on. So it's apparently batteries. There's 3 12-volt batteries, 36 volts. That's a lot of energy. Him not having no shirt on, not having no shoes on, he became a conductor for electricity.
Knowles recalling his harrowing attempts to save the man whom he considered a little brother, adding that while he tried, it was sadly not enough.
I worked so hard to try to save him. I had the AED, but it wouldn't go off. They came and they said there's no pulse, so that's why the AED wouldn't go off. So we had all the safety equipment, we were doing everything right, but they said you need a pulse. Time they actually pulled me off of him trying to doing the CPR. I lost a friend, but I'm sure it was a decent young man.
Family members say their loved one was quiet and observant and only next to his family loved to work and dance. For the close-knit family, Brennan's untimely death comes as a shock. But Aunt Khadijah Saunders say they are sadly no strangers to loss.
And it's hard. We're just recently trying to get over my son death. And we still isn't over that as yet. But for this, it's like a shocker. This is like another, we got to walk this road again.
Antoinette Smith, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, a 60-year-old woman is missing tonight. Marie Miller's last known address listed as Cocoa Plum Sea Breeze. She was last seen, though, by KFC Prince Charles Drive. Anyone that can help authorities, or family members for that matter, find Miller should call the Criminal Investigation Division at 502-991 or 502-9971 or download the P3 Tips app. The Court of Appeal dismissing Omar Archer's appeal against the Supreme Court ruling. Archer sought to have the court dismiss his motion for constitutional relief regarding a criminal libel charge brought against him 6 years ago. Back in September 2015, Archer was arrested and charged with intentional libel due to publishing defamatory material about a local reporter by uploading a post on his Facebook page claiming the journalist had tested positive for a sexually transmitted disease in an attempt to defame her character. He pleaded not guilty to the charge. In its ruling, the Court of Appeal found that where allegations are calculated and intended to destroy the reputation of persons, the criminal law must be able to provide a sanction rather than leave a victim to a civil claim for damages which may be worthless. Archer will have to pay court costs after losing his appeal. Meantime, the courts in the Turks and Caicos Islands imposing hefty fines on 4 Bahamians, including a married couple who admitted having forged negative COVID-19 test results at the Providenciales International Airport back in April. The defendant's Terrence Pinder was fined $4,700 or 10 months in prison. His wife, Malister Pinder, was fined $3,300 or 8 months in prison. The court also fined Akia Rigby White $4,700 or 10 months behind bars. This while Cindy Rowe was fined over $3,000 or 8 months in prison. Now, the fines could have been higher, but the judge took into consideration their guilty pleas. Rowe did not pay her fine. She has until this coming Monday, July 12th, to do so.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
It's an incredible day for San Salvador as they welcome guests from the Crystal Serenity. Guests were met with incredible music, authentically Bahamian souvenirs, and warm San Salvador hospitality.
Indeed, this is a great day for the island and the people of San Salvador. I say thank you, Lord, for this day. As you know, that Club Med was our major employer, and since COVID, in fact, many of the people has been out of a job from March of last year, and so it's about over a year since many persons didn't have a job. Club Med was our major employer, and they employed more than 180 staff on the island, and so they have been out of a job. And so this is a day where the people of San Salvador say thank you. Money are in their pocket, and they get to make some of the money for eCrystals. And so we say thank you, Lord, thank you, eCrystal, and thank you for the government for allowing this ship to come to the island of San Salvador. We thank you, and this will certainly uplift the spirit of the people of San Salvador, and we are ready and able to make some of the money and to treat our guests as they come on our shores today. And we say thank you, Lord, for this day, and thank you.
Be sure to stay up to date with the latest on the Crystal Cruise voyage by following us on our social channels. I'm Mercedes Demerit, and this is Tourism Today.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
When you really need to save big, you need to shop Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow Spaghetti and Meatballs, 14.8-ounce can, 3 for $3.19. Promo's Peanut Butter, 18-ounce jar, $2.89. Amalanda Fresh Milk, 33.8-ounce size, $1.39. Green Peppers, $1.49 per pound. Chicken Leg Quarters, 10-pound bag, $1.09 per pound. Working hard every day to keep your prices down. That's Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
We continue our series of key figures who played leading roles in the country's first independence. Tonight, we feature the likes of retired Deputy Commissioner of Police Keith Mason. Charles Fisher reports.
6 or 8 weeks before the independence celebrations, I was called by the then newly installed Commissioner of Police, Latil Thompson, to his office, and informed that they had selected me to be commanding officer of the Independence Parade.
From there, he had a short time to put things in order.
I had to get together all the platoons, which consisted of police officers, 2 platoons of Marines from Her Majesty's ship that were in port, His Highness the Prince, and several of our own platoons from the prison, immigration, about 300 or 400 men and women in all, including the Royal Bahamas Police Band and all the other ancillaries. We commenced practices for the big special day.
Then came that big night.
2 sergeants were selected for the lowering of the British flag and the hoisting of the new Bahamian flag. That night, the parade commenced about 11 o'clock or thereabout. At 12 midnight, we will be ready to lower one flag and hoist the other flag. And at midnight, all the lights were doused. I was ready for the orders to be given to lower the British flag for the last time in the Bahamas as a colony, and to raise Flagstaff, the new Bahamian flag that would bring into symbolic fit a new Bahamas, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
In his more than 40 years on the force, that night was one of his proudest moments.
The most Bahamians I've ever seen, not only Bahamians, visitors, I have never seen that crowd of people any place in Nassau at one time. Thousands of Bahamians were on Fort Charlotte, waving flags, keeping noise, and just making a joyful noise at the birth of the new Bahamas.
And after all these years, he still looks back at that historic night.
The fact that I was, of all the officers in the force, especially selected to do that job, it meant to me that my bosses, the commissioner and his team, had the confidence I would do it without mistakes.
So what stands out the most about July 10th, 1973?
Pride Bahamians had that morning, seeing their country become an independent country with people who would run their own business, their own politics. No orders coming down from above.
For the ZNS Network News, I'm Charles Fisher.
Well, the unique Bahamian dialect combined with a stylish design makes perfect fashion sense. This independence, you can start a cultural fashion trend, and our Kelsey Johnson tells us just how.
Hey, Tingham! Yes, I'm talking to you. The year 1973 was so historic for the country. The National Art Gallery of the Bahamas decided that you can dress it up any way you like. There are shirts like the goatskin drum or your mother. And of course, my favorite, that's the vibe. All independence inspired. You can accessorize with a statement necklace, earrings, bracelets, or how about a sand dollar belt? And as a mixed media associate, Ahmad Roll will tell you the kids haven't been left out.
Because as a cultural hub, we have authentically made Bahamian products. We have things that are definitely a part of the Bahamian story and the Bahamian experience. We have historical t-shirts here by Baha Archives, which are in the doodle print format. We have Hope is a Weapon that I feel like everyone knows from the amazing Angelica Wallace Whitfield. We also have a great line of t-shirts by Lingnam and Tingham. Definitely for independence, we're pushing the 1973 independence shirts.
If home decor is more your thing, you'll feel right at home.
We have some beautiful things from Bahama Handprints. Therefore, you can create a lovely decor. We have napkins and placemats. We also have some coasters by Trevor Tucker. So you can mix it up. You can have like an aqua theme. You can have a very garden theme. We also have beautiful prints by Chan Pratt and other artists as well.
Roll believes hanging a piece of art is a classic, and who can knock a good book? So this year, let's add a twist to the Independence celebrations by infusing culture into your individual style. Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Network News.
Well, a number of residents decked from head to toe in their Independence colors, but what's literally standing out this year are the kicks. LaDon Davis has more.
I just thought, man, it would be so great if I could actually buy a pair of tennis or a pair of shoes that actually had our national colors all in it.
And it was during the Independence Feel the Rush parade on Bay 3 years ago that the Allegiant sneakers concept was born. Owner, One Family Warrior, and radio personality Anthony A.C. Coakley says a conversation with a friend alongside his vision brought the shoe game to life.
She introduced me to the Souls Fing team, and we started to work on the flag-inspired sneaker concept. And from that first concept, brought for two other concepts, which was the depiction of the flag and then a flag color. All of the colors of the flag inspired sneaker. And after those two concepts, which took about maybe 3 months to actually bring to life, I looked at it and I said, well, if I want to represent the Bahamas, why not, represent with one of our national symbols? And then the whole flamingo shoe concept came to life, which really was inspired by Junkanoo.
Since its launch back on June 17th, 120 pairs of sneakers were purchased by Bahamians locally and internationally.
The very first pair of shoes was delivered to a Bahamian couple living in Pennsylvania because they had to have it. And then a second pair to students in Canada. They got the second pair delivered to them. And it's been a really great feeling, the support of Bahamians, both locally here in Nassau, but particularly outside of the country, wanting to be able to represent to the fullest, especially as independence is approaching.
Coakley plans to incorporate the Blue Marlin into his shoe line and has already entered into an agreement to have the popular sneakers on the shelves of a local shoe store pretty soon. And while planning to present a different sneaker line next year, Coakley also encouraged Bahamians everywhere to continue to pledge their allegiance to our national flag.
When I walk into stores and people walk up to me like, are you the sneaker guy? And I'm like, yeah. That's been really encouraging, and persons just messaging and calling, and of course on social media just giving me thumbs up and kudos and how proud they are of the product, and that's been a really, really great feeling. As Bahamians, there's nothing that we can't do. And the thing that I pray and hope that every Bahamian gets out of these pair of sneakers is that we could do anything. You can create anything. There's nothing that you're limited to, especially in this world that we live in now, which is connected by just the tap of a screen or the click of a button. That I want persons to be inspired to go after their visions, after their dream, and to do it with pride.
LaDon Davis, ZNS Network News.
In other news this evening, Chinese ambassador to the Bahamas, Her Excellency Dai Qingling, says her country hopes to have a good relationship with America. Qingling believes many people see the China-U.S. relation as the single most consequential bilateral connection in the 21st century. Her comments coming during a press conference at the Chinese embassy, where officials highlighted 100 years of the Communist Party of China, currently headed by its president.
Even President Xi mentioned many times that there are 1,000 reasons for China and the U.S. to deliver a good relationship with each other, and not a single reason for us to have this relationship go poorly. So that you can see the commitment of the Chinese side in terms of promoting a relationship with the U.S. based on coordination, cooperation, and stability. And we don't want to have any conflict or confrontation with the United States. So that's why we engaged the U.S. Even during the trade war. We tried very hard to have negotiations with the U.S., finally leading to an agreement. But unfortunately, that agreement was affected by the pandemic.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings.
through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
guys, it's Shay here, and welcome to our first installment of Alive's Community Corner. Not only is Alive a digital service provider, and beyond those great deals and services that we provide you, Alive is committed to the community. So here's a look at what we did for Mother's and Father's Day. This episode, and we look forward to sharing with you so many more of our community moments. So why Alive? Because you deserve it.
Elevate your experience with BTC Superfast Fiber Home Internet, which unlocks unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming for as low as $50 per line. Enjoy more savings and value with internet speeds of up to 600 megabits per second and all the connectivity you need on the go. An elevated experience starts with BTC at home, powering unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming plus great savings. Visit a BTC store or btcbahamas.com for more details.
A new twist tonight in the investigation into that fatal crash in Abaco this week. 2 Bahamian pilots were killed when the plane went down near the Treasure Key Airport on Tuesday. Chief investigator of crash accidents, Delvin Major, says as they carried out their probe, new information came forward.
Yesterday, we conducted an interview of the pilots that originally brought the aircraft into Treasure Key around Friday, I believe it was. And during our interview, they revealed to us that they were told that the aircraft had crashed, and they don't know how because they were the only ones that authorized to fly the aircraft, and they had the keys. So basically, they were saying that the aircraft was stolen. So, because we investigate only for the purpose of safety, but once you say it's stolen, that's, for us, that's an act of unlawful interference, which is the aspect that does not come before us. That's a matter for the police. So we did terminate our interview at that point and advise them that they would need to report this matter to the authorities.
Educator Princess Burrows has penned a new children's book, Letters to My Mother, Confessions from Engine Number 9. The book will have youngsters glued to the pages as they'll tell the tales of rich kids just like themselves growing up on the island of Andros. A graduating class in Andros was blessed with copies of the book, now available at select locations in Love Hill. It's also available on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format, or by contacting the author. Well, time now for a check on Family Island weather, and for that we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. Also now moving northward at about 10 miles per hour towards southern Georgia, and it has weakened to about 45 miles per hour. Further weakening of Elsa is anticipated once it remains overland. All the details coming up later in the newscast. But outside of our studios, we're under partly sunny skies, temperature at 86 degrees, relative humidity 69%. The winds are out of the south-southeast at 13 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,018.4 millibars, that's 30.04 inches, and the pressure is falling. Temperatures around the outlets this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 86 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Greentoll Key. Marsh Harbor, Albuquerque, 84, 85 degrees in the Berry Islands. Hollistown, Bimini, 84 degrees, 84 in Harbor Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 85 degrees, 85 in Fresh Creek, Central Andros. Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key at 85 degrees. Georgetown, Exuma, 84. 85s in Ragged Island, Clownstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Megawana, 84. Acklands, 84. Matthewtown, Inagua, 86 degrees. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the Northwestern Islands tonight through tomorrow, which is Thursday, southeast winds 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. High tide takes place at 7:54 this evening. You can expect another high tide at 8:07 tomorrow morning. In the central and southeastern islands through Thursday, the winds southeast at 15 to 25 knots, wave heights 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. So we have an advisory in place for boaters in the central and southeastern islands into Thursday. Now, as we take you into Friday, for the northwestern islands, the winds fall off 10 to 15 knots out of the southeast, wave heights subsiding 2 to 4 feet. High tide will take place at 8:07 in the morning with a low tide at 2:07 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Friday, winds reducing slightly as well. Southeast at 15 to 20 knots, wave heights down 4 to 7 feet, so that advisory will be reduced to a caution flag on Friday. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Family Royal Star Assurance.
She texts me back. She says she ready for some of that. I say, what you talking about? You know. She stopped the show. Well, let's go. I pick her up. Round 9 o'clock. We head down. On a ghost movie.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Everyone's excited about the $8 meal of the day. Every day, it's a different 6-inch sub, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $8. That feels like fresh value. Come in any day of the week for one of your favorite 6-inch subs. Like turkey breast, meatball marinara, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, black forest ham, Italian BMT, oven roasted chicken, and tuna. Then add chips and a 20-ounce drink, and you've got the $8 meal of the day. A great meal at a great price every day of the week. Only at Subway.
keeping homes safe across the Caribbean for decades. Bopp has become the most trusted name in insecticide. There has never been, or there never will be, any escape for insects from the unrelenting power of Bopp. Formulated with precision, Bopp effectively eliminates all flying and crawling insects that seek to invade your home. Trust Bopp, the #1 insecticide brand in the Caribbean, to keep everyone that matters to you safe. Distributed by Nassau Agencies Limited.
1973 marked the beginning of something great in these beloved islands, an event that would reflect the values and tastes of the Bahamian people for generations to come. National pride has gone hand in hand with this momentous occasion, which will forever be known throughout Bahamian history as the birth of Aquapure. Sharing its birthday with the nation isn't what makes Aquapure great. It's Aquapure's commitment to quality and to the people of the Bahamas that drives us to be the best. Aquapure, pure Bahamian since 1973.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to sports. Making their first appearance in the NBA Finals since 1993, the Phoenix Suns held off the Milwaukee Bucks 118-105 on Tuesday to grab a 1-0 lead in the best-of-7 series. Bahamian DeAndre Ayton was critical in the victory, logging 22 points and 19 rebounds on 7 of 9 shooting. It's his 4th straight double-double and 12th in the postseason. Ayton has grabbed 15 or more rebounds in 6 of those games, tied for 4th most for a player in his first postseason, this per ESPN. Per the ESPN broadcast, Ayton is also the first player to record at least 15 points and 15 rebounds in his NBA Finals debut since Tim Duncan on June 16, 1999. Ayton's 19 rebounds also tied Charles Barkley for the most ever by a Suns player in an NBA Finals game. Ayton speaking to media post-game.
I mean, I'm just happy because I woke up saying, this is just one game closer. You know what I'm saying? I get goosebumps. Sometimes I overwhelm myself on the way to the game. I'm having a lot of fun because my guys in there, they keep me level. And, they keep me intent with it.
In more basketball news, with the NBA draft right around the corner, Bahamian Kai Jones continues to climb up the draft boards. Jones recently conducting his first workout with an NBA team, that being the Indiana Pacers. Kai talking about the experience as well as what he hopes to offer NBA teams.
It was just a lot of shooting together. We were passing to each other, just working on playing together because we're different positions. So setting some screens for him, rolling to the rim, picking and popping, just working on different NBA actions, handoffs, stuff like that, him going back door. So we were just kind of playing off of each other, shooting together. My strengths are my versatility. I can guard inside and out, and I can score inside and out as well. So my ability to defend, rim run, rebound the ball, block shots, and then our offense, sprinting the floor, cutting to the basket for finishes, the ability to catch and shoot off the dribble. So just offensive versatility and defensive versatility, that I'd say. That's my strength for my size.
In track and field news, world champion Stephen Gardner ran the season's best time, and Olympic champion Shawnee Miller-Weibo settled for second. Some Bahamian athletes got back in action, competing at the 2021 Gulai Istvan Memorial in Hungary on Tuesday. In a highly anticipated matchup billed as the race of the meet, Gardner was set to line up against U.S. national champion Michael Norman and world record holder Wade Van Niekerk of South Africa in the first meeting ever between the 3 Olympic favorites. However, Van Niekerk was a no-show, leaving Gardner and Norman to battle each other for the title in the World Continental Tour Gold event. Gardner fell short of his meet record of 44.30 seconds, but still took the tape, finishing first in the men's 200 meters in a season's best time of 44.47 seconds. Norman settled for third in 44.65 seconds. For fellow track and field superstar Shawnee Miller-Weibo, she would suffer her first loss in the women's 200 meters in over 4 years. Coming off a groin injury, Miller-Weibo crossed the finish line in second in the women's 200 200 meters in 22.15 seconds. It was her first loss in the women's 200 meters since 2017, snapping her 16-race unbeaten streak. Jamaican Sharika Jackson was impressive, winning in 21.96 seconds. Miller Weibo will now prepare for the Diamond League meet in Monaco on Friday. She's set to go up against U.S. national champion Gabrielle Thomas and Jamaican national champion Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. And that's been a look at sports. A quick check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Later this year, ground is expected to be broken for the construction of 2 new comprehensive schools, one in Anagua and the other in High Rock, East End, Grand Bahama, at a cost of some $15 million. And $20 million is budgeted for school repair projects this year.
Was Stafford Sands a racist? He had a special mind, a very cultivated mind. And I think that racism and prejudice of minorities would have been, it wasn't of interest to him. It wasn't necessary to his way of life.
There are many blacks that I've talked to who thought of him as a great leader, as somebody who they
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, Elsa now moving towards the north at 10 miles per hour towards Sutton, Georgia, and it has reduced in intensity to about 45 miles per hour. Further weakening of Elsa is expected as it remains over land. But once it gets back over the waters sometime late on Friday, we expect some re-intensification of this system to take place. Forecast track, keeping it on that northeast track, which should be established by tomorrow, and that should ride right up the east coast of the United States. Our forecast for tonight here in the capital, partly cloudy with a passing shower or two, very possible. The low temperature tonight getting down to 79 degrees. And tomorrow, we're looking at a bit breezy with a couple of showers still in the forecast. High temperature around 90 degrees. But when you factor in the relative humidity with that, tomorrow it's going to feel more like 101 degrees. So very steamy day shaping up. So do remain hydrated during the daytime. Extended weather forecast, a couple of showers, as we already told you on Thursday. Things drying out a bit on Friday. Showers returning back to the forecast on Saturday. But as we head into the early part of next week, things are looking very well weather-wise. 90s for the most part during the daytime, and those nighttime temperatures remaining in the upper 70s. Makishla.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team here, Thanks for watching, and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
During the 46th anniversary independence celebrations of the Bahamas, the National Independence Committee, along with the Downtown Redevelopment